Evening. It's July 27th, 6 o'clock p.m., and the Oconee County Board of Zoning Appeals will now come to order. First item on the agenda is the election of a secretary. I move that Deanne Hester be appointed secretary. Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion? No discussion, all in favor? Okay, unanimous. Next item is the approval of minutes for February 23rd, 2026. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
Do we have a motion?
So move.
Okay, second, we have a second. Okay, do we have any discussion? Any corrections or any thoughts? If not, all in favor? Okay, approved. We have a brief statement about the rules and procedures for this evening. The applicant will provide a presentation regarding the needs for the variance for 5 minutes, with the board having the ability to grant more time if needed. The board will ask questions after each presenter. The staff will address any additional issues. Citizen comments will be allowed for a period of 3 minutes, each with the board's request that the speakers not repeat what others are saying, but rather concur or state other facts not previously presented. There will be an applicant rebuttal period if necessary. The board will ask any further questions before deliberations start. Once the board begins its deliberations, there will be no further input from the board, and the board will begin its voting on 4 questions. And a negative vote on any one of the 4 questions will require a denial of the variance or the special exception. Okay, the first item tonight is variance application VA 26000003. I think Motai, I believe that's the right pronunciation, Lake Real Property Holding, LLC/EB Investments, PA, seeks relief from the setback requirement to split an existing duplex along the firewall, reference section 38-10.2. TMS number is 31600-01-164. The address is 111 and 113 Shenandoah Drive, Westminster, South Carolina. Will the applicant please come forward and state your case?
Hi,
Good evening.
my name is Sherry Howard, and I represent Eileen Bruno. He's out of town right now for Mountain Lake. And the application is, like you said, a duplex. His legal team has advised him that he needs to split it for financial reasons and legal reasons. He built it with that in mind, and so it does have the firewall and everything. And there are no other homes. It's right behind a convenience store, so it's not disruptive to the traffic or anything, and it's gonna be 2 single-family homes. I wouldn't know anything.
He intends to sell the 2 units?
No, he's renting them,
You're going to rent them?
yes. He's already got them listed for rent.
Okay.
And they are upscale, high finishing, so he's hoping to attract a long-term, good professional client.
Does it have an approved firewall between the 2
Yes.
apartments or 2 units?
Yes. The only thing, he had an inspection this morning, and the inspector told him he had to split his water line, and he's hired CSWR, Sam McCall and Bo McCall, and they should have that finished by tomorrow.
Do anybody have any questions for the board? Any questions? No? Okay. Please take your seat.
Thank you.
Okay. Then we'll move on with the questions. Do you have any comments?
I do, actually. I had spoken with the building department because this project was just CO'd just recently. And I wanted to check with them as to how this was built, because in the International Building Code, townhomes are typically done as 3 units or more. They're not quantified as 2 specifically. That is typically a duplex or a 2-family dwelling. So there's a difference between that, and townhomes are classified as 3 or more. In this case, this was built with a 2-hour separation wall, because typically a duplex is a 1-hour separation, and it doesn't go all the way up typically. So this one was, to the best of our knowledge. Obviously, it is a spray foam house, so being able to see some of those things is difficult because the house was permitted as a duplex. So it was inspected according to those regulations, not to townhome regulations. But he went out again at my request today just to follow up, to see everything that, one, to confirm we had, two, separate, the electricity was separate for the two. Water was separate and, sewer was separate. In this case, he found that water was not. So I would recommend that if you do approve this, that it is pending proof that that water meter has been installed on the other one. Because for townhomes, that is a requirement, and this is kind of, by splitting this, we're treating it like a townhome if y'all do go that way. So we need to make sure that that has been done and is in working order beforehand. But to the best of our knowledge, it was built more like a townhome design for fire separation, which would be the big issue here, is to make sure that has happened. So to the best of our knowledge, it was. Again, the only thing that he could not see was, the roof, the wood under your shingles and all that stuff. Because of that being spray foamed, we couldn't see it. He had, a representative for the builder was on site, that's who let him in today. And he stated that that was the type of material that was used, because they built it with this in mind. So, but I would say we need to, if approved, it needs to be pending, proof that that water tap is done. Yes, sir.
You say that it was permitted initially as a duplex?
It was permitted and approved as a duplex. Yes, sir.
What is the advantage of changing it to a townhouse?
Because they can sell them individually.
If they wanted to at
If
some
it's
point.
not, because a duplex has to be, kept on one lot.
Yeah.
You can't split them. And we can't just classify this as a townhome because there's only two. And the IRC does, the building codes don't allow for that. Townhomes have to be 3 or more. So, but because of the way this was designed, the firewall is where we're having to work off of that. And so that's why, I talked to the building department. Even their plans as were submitted reference that 2-hour firewall. So again, it reflects through the building plans that was the intent. Obviously, I would say that it should have been permitted differently if that was the intent, because it doesn't, meet. But, that would be my biggest concern for insurance reasons, is if the firewall and such weren't there. And it appears that that was done properly for, the 2-hour required separation.
Is there anybody who wants to speak from the audience on this?
No, sir.
Is there anybody who hasn't signed up that wants to comment on this? Give you an opportunity if you'd like, okay, if not. Okay, is there any,
I have a question. I'm not familiar with what a 2-hour
well,
2-hour firewall means. What is a 2-hour?
I would, Dan, did you hear Bill's question?
It is designed, there's different, your standard walls don't have that extra level of fire protection. It's designed for if you've got adjoining walls, because of the, like these have cavities in them. There's your extra level of sheetrock, and then there's cavities between, and all of that is to slow the fire from going from one residence to the adjacent. So it's built to a different standard than a typical wall.
Okay.
And so that's what, like I said, these have they're designed, it's a cavity type wall system in this house. And so, it meets the requirements of the 2-hour.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, yes, sir.
Anybody have any additional questions?
How long, you said that this thing has just recently been the certificate of occupancy. Do we know why the decision was made after?
They submitted for this while it was still being built. They
Oh, they
submitted
did?
for the variance while it was still being built before, because this was initially submitted and would have gone on the agenda, I believe in, April maybe, but that was,
Yeah, I think it was-
due to staffing issues, it got delayed. And so, they were still very much in the building process when this was submitted for a variance.
So it wasn't finished, all done, and then we're gonna switch right afterwards? It wasn't that scenario?
No, sir, I think they were gonna switch in the middle, which again, still, you know, it's kind of a gray area because of the IRC does not classify this as townhomes. And because they classify 3 or more specifically, but this would be typically viewed as a 2-family home. But we have found issues where, different places in the country that they have allowed them to be split if they were built with the appropriate firewalls and such as that, because, you know, insurance reasons that would be one reason that I would be very concerned if it weren't. I feel like that would be an issue. But from everything we can find, again, like I said, I had our lead building inspector went back out today and asked the builder to let him in so he could just follow up on everything that he and I discussed last week to confirm. And he said everything reflects that it was built to a townhome standard, even though it was submitted as a duplex.
And the only question that y'all would really have is whether or not that insurance, the very top,
Basically, think of like your wood sheathing up there, we can't see it because of the, spray foam insulation that's there, so you can't see it. But, the builder is telling us that yes, in fact, that is what was used. So the only way to know that would be to basically chisel out the spray foam to be able to see it. That would be the only way you would be able to know.
your inspector felt good about it?
He did, he did, and he talked to multiple inspectors that had been on the job, but he himself wanted to follow up again and lay eyes on it himself. And, everybody he talked to supported that it was built to that, and it was, the building plans as submitted reflect that information as well. So they designed it to be built with that 2-hour fire separation all the way up and, you know, on the roof, et cetera. So they built it to that, they designed it to that standard. It's just that would be the only thing that he couldn't verify today. But that's how he noticed the water meter was the water was split between the two off of 1 meter, and that is one of the things that has to be separate, because if it's a separate residence, each one has to have its own water access. But they quickly jumped on that today.
Last question, so this is a setback issue?
The reason being is because it can't be classified as a townhome, because if it were townhomes, the setback between joining walls don't apply.
Okay.
But because this can't be classified as a townhome, y'all have to give a variance actually to both 111 and 113 that they be built up to that property line.
Anybody have anything further they'd like to comment on? If not, then let's move on to the questions. There are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to the particular piece of property. Do we have a motion in the affirmative?
So move.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor? Okay. These conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity. Do we have a motion in the affirmative? Motion.
I move.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor? Because of these conditions, the application of this chapter to the particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. Do we have a motion in the affirmative?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor? Number 4, the authorization of a variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent uses or to the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance. Do we have a motion in the affirmative?
This where we need to add about the water meter?
No, that comes at the end. We have a motion? Okay, we have a second? Have a second. Okay, any discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor? Okay. Based on the evidence presented to the board, do I hear a motion that the proposed variance be approved, subject to the separation of the water system?
Not just separation, but separation and confirmation of the separation.
Okay. Separation and confirmation, okay.
Somebody needs to go out and verify there is a second water tap there, that they're not sharing water.
Would it be acceptable if I had the building inspector come back out and do that, would y'all be?
Yeah,
That'd be up, as
yeah,
long
we
as
just
you
need, we
confirm
just
it.
need somebody's eyes on it, that it was
Yeah.
done.
Will do, and I'll get a statement from him that it was in fact done.
Right, yeah. Okay. Any discussion on this? Okay. Do we have a motion in the affirmative on this?
So move.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. No discussion? All in favor? Okay. Your variance has been granted. Okay, the next item is variance application VA 26000005. Kathy D. Martin requests relief from the side setback requirement for an existing building. Reference section 38-10.2. The TMS number is 324-00-02-019. The address is 354 Mill Creek Road, Westminster, South Carolina. Would the applicant please come forward and state your name for the record, please?
Kathy Martin,
Yes,
what do I need to say?
I'm sorry?
Just tell you my name?
Just state your name and then tell us why you want the variance.
Because we're swapping lands. On my property is on his land, okay? And we're swapping lands on the far end of his property and making
Okay,
it right.
you keep
making the right
saying
thing.
his, so who is his?
Huh?
Who is-
Matt?
Okay, so, all right, so he can testify that that's what you're doing,
Yes.
okay? Is it an equal swap between the two of you?
Say what now?
Is it an equal swap?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Go ahead, continue.
That'd be all.
No, continue telling us. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Okay.
No, that's it. We just want to swap lands and we need y'all's approval. That's what we need.
Anybody have any questions?
Does the swapping of land,
Huh?
does the swapping of
Well,
land eliminate the need for a setback?
What happened was, would you explain to the board exactly what happened? I think
Okay.
your house was built,
The house was built way back in,
yeah,
when my father was alive, but we're talking 80, 90 years ago, right? We had owned the land. My mother lived there after my father passed away, and she broke it up in sections for all the children, but they never had it surveyed. And when people would move their mobile homes or whatever they did on their pieces of property, it went over, or hers went. We really don't know what happened, so.
But when you were doing all this, was there a county variance that said you had to do it a certain way?
No. I bought it coming out of probate after my mother passed away,
Okay,
and that's when I had it surveyed.
and that's when you found the problem?
That's when I found the problem, yeah.
and so part of your dwelling was on the other piece of land, and
Right,
that's the
right.
reason for the swap,
Right.
right? Okay. Any,
That makes sense now.
does the board have any?
I'm sorry, I don't really know how to explain it, you know?
No, does the board have any questions?
Well, just go back to the question I had
Yeah.
before. So if you do the swap of the land, does that eliminate any variance requests?
No,
So say that again, I couldn't hear him.
the buildings are on the property line.
Yeah, my building, and when we swap land, it's gonna straighten that line out, put my building back on this side, and it's gonna give them on their side of the property some more extra land down here.
But the building is still gonna be too close to the property line, that's what the variance is
Gotcha.
about.
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
it needs a variance.
Yes, they go, Mr. Hart, Glenn Hart, he has surveyed it and he's fixed it where the property line's straight now and everything, but we gotta go to an attorney and get everything recorded.
Well, but you gotta see us first,
Yeah, we gotta see you first. That's it, yeah.
okay?
Anybody else have any questions? Please take your seat.
Thank you.
Is there anybody that has signed up to speak?
Mr. Griffith?
Mr. Griffith? State your name for the record, please.
My name is Matthew Griffith.
Yes, sir.
I was more or less just making sure that that it was just a land swap, like you said, or carport. is technically on our property. And we're just trying to get that squared, and she has another little small piece of property if you're staring at our house, from the road, that she has a little triangle piece, she's gonna give us a little piece of that. Just kinda to swap that out, there's even Stevens.
And if they do this, you don't have any objections to the?
No, as long as, I have no objections, as long as the land swap is, that's what we're doing, so.
Okay, and is there anybody in the community expressed any objections to what you're doing?
That I am unaware.
Okay.
I haven't heard, so.
No, there's not, you know.
Very good, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, thank y'all.
Any questions of the, no? Okay. Deanne, do you have any comments?
I was just saying, from what I can tell, that he's trying to fix an existing problem, and this was there's no perfect solution unless you end up with some really jagged, strange lines to accommodate that 5 foot. I think this is just a solution to try to fix something that's been existing for a long
I
time.
was gonna say, it looks like it's an issue that dates way, way back.
It is, there's no new buildings put in place that recently created this issue. I think they're just trying to fix something that has been in place for a long time.
Makes sense. Anything? Okay, if there's no further questions, then let us move on to the, and is there anybody else that, in the audience that has any thoughts or wants to make any comments with regard to this subject? If not, then we'll move on. We'll go to the first question. There are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to the particular piece of property. Do we have a motion in the affirmative?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, do we have any discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor? These conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity. Do we have a motion in the affirmative?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor?
Unanimous.
Because of these conditions, the application of this chapter to the particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. Do we have a motion in the affirmative?
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Okay. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor? Okay.
Unanimous.
The authorization of a variance will not be of substantial detriment to the adjacent uses or to the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance. Do we have a motion in the affirmative?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second. Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor? Okay, unanimous. Okay, based on the evidence presented to the board, do I hear a motion that the proposed variance be approved?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor? You have your variance.
Thank you very much. May we leave now?
Yep. Now, you'll be getting a letter shortly within a few days.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Move on to the next item. Variance application VA 26000006, LB Commercial Property Services on behalf of PM Hartwell LLC. Request relief from the side and rear setback requirements for an addition to an existing home. Reference section 38-10.2. TMS number is 334-03-01-085, and the address is 105 Sherry Lane, Fairplay, South Carolina, 2968643. Will the applicant please come forward and state his name for the record?
Thank you. My name's Jeff Burnett. I'm the applicant and the general contractor on the project. This is the owner. I'd like to share some documents if I can. On each of these, I have circled the location that is in question that we are requesting the variance for. It is right there where the two property lines meet. And just so you know, the owner does own both of these lots that adjoin. And So, thank you. Thank you. So this is the area where I've drawn the circle where the two lots intersect there. So,
Do you have an additional copy for the record?
yes, I do.
Yep. That way I can see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
So, just to make you aware, there is an existing deck that has a foundation that's already within the 5-foot setback on this property. We think at least that it's probably 40 years old. So this is an older lake house, and Mr. McCullough inherited the property from his father and would like to improve it. So while there is a deck there now, he would like to add a covered porch there. He does own the property next to it. It does not affect any of the neighbors' views of the lake or anything else there. So we request that you grant us a variance to make improvements to the property.
Looks like he has 2 lots, and he has the house on one and the garage on the other.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Because of the size of the lots, probably.
Yes, sir, that's correct. They were purchased separately, and then he
Yeah.
owned them both together.
And for clarification, the 12.8 feet does not cross the Corps of Engineers
It
line.
does not. It's actually about 1.8 feet off of the core line when it's finished. It's a little bit closer than the existing deck, about a foot. So there is a little bit of a change there, but it's still within the 5 feet that it sits now.
Anybody on the board have any questions, this gentleman? Okay,
So
go ahead.
the porch comes down and the new addition is an additional foot further?
About 2 feet, 1.8 thereabouts.
But not a huge, massive change, but.
It's not really. It's
1.8 feet further.
It's minimal, yes, sir.
Anything? Okay, fine, thank you. Okay, then, Deanne, do you have any comments?
I would just caution that is, so we would be giving a variance on the side and the rear, because it's up to basically to the rear property line. So I would just be cautious of that. The sideline could be remedied by combining the lots, since a garage is on one and the house is on the other, they're utilized together. That would eliminate that issue, but I just would caution that. I would say if it's approved, I would require an as-built of the property with the addition, if it's approved, so that we have it established, this is where it's at, and there's no question moving forward, of what is approved and where it's located. Because it's kind of hard to tell on the existing, what we're working with. So this is helpful, but like once, this would be recorded instead of just a site plan, but an actual as-built survey done to indicate where this is actually placed on the property, so there's no confusion moving forward. That would be my recommendation.
Okay.
But one other thing I would like to point out, Port Bass was platted years ago prior to current regulations. Of course, when the rezoning took place, that's when those additional setback regulations were put in place. So I would say more than likely when this house was built, there was not a setback issue that they would have to contend with.
Yeah.
But the rezoning is, when those were rezoned to their current zoning class, that changed that. So I feel like when the house was built, it was, I'm sure, compliant, because when was that built?
The house is probably 50-ish years old.
Yeah.
Yes, so it would have been compliant at the time it was built.
Yeah.
So I would like to point that out, that they're having to meet standards that kind of came into play after this house was built.
Do you want the as-built survey done when the foundation's poured under this addition, or do you want it after it's completed?
I would recommend when the foundation is done, that way if there's any error, nobody has gone upright with it. I would hate for it to be over 6 inches and they've already built something, then that creates a different kind of problem. But yes, just do it at the foundation.
If I may, we normally would do that anyway to place our corners for the foundation that we would put in. We would have the surveyor come out and put those pins in, and at that time, we could give you that.
Do the as-built at that point.
Yes.
That's perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. That'd be perfect.
So you're saying as-built prior to the foundation being poured?
At the time when that's staked out and those forms are put in place, that's typically when it's done. Is that what you're referring
is
to?
correct.
Forms are put in
Yes,
and then
ma'am.
they run the lines at that point. So then you get an accurate place.
So we build off of those marks.
That's when you set, that basically you're setting the foundation.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Then we've got something in that would be recorded, and from here on out, we know where it's at. It would match up to the variance that
Makes
y'all
sense.
gave. Yes, sir.
And how many feet of variance are we giving?
Based on this, it's showing 0.7 feet to the property line. And it's typically a 10-foot setback, but again, that setback was put in place after this house was built.
I
So
thought it was a 5-foot setback.
it's 5 on the side and 10 on the rear.
Okay.
But again, the house itself is already well within that setback because that was put into place after, many years after that house was built. So it would be, we would consider that a non-conforming structure. It's not in, there would be no issue with it. If left alone, it would be fine.
Yeah.
Because we would consider it non-conforming
Yeah.
because it's been there so long. So,
It's grandfathered in.
yes, sir, because it, exactly.
But because he's doing the addition, that's why we're doing
Yeah.
the variance.
That's why we have to do the variance, just because of the addition.
So he's going to encroach on the, on both the side and the rear by an additional 1.8
None on the side, but
Huh?
we are on the rear.
on the rear.
Yeah, the rear is now gonna be, one side is, according to this drawing, is 8.1 feet, and then the other side is, 0.7 feet from the property line. So it's less than a foot off.
And that is the shared property line between the two lots that we own.
For the side.
Yes.
The issue, the 0.7 appears to be between the corner of the addition and the Army Corps line.
Yeah.
That was why I would wanna establish that, the sideline, because it's shared ownership, he owns both, is
Yeah.
not as great a concern, well, it
Yeah.
is, but he's not gonna get mad at himself. So that's not an issue, it would be the Army Corps, we wanna make sure that there's no encroachment there. And then, should he choose to sell that later, it's established and it doesn't cause a future owner a problem.
That's fine, that makes sense. Okay. Fine, do we have any questions?
Mr. Chairman, have we assessed whether there's a homeowners association involved here?
Is there a homeowners association involved or any?
All right, thank you.
Does this provide any problems in the future if you wanted to separate the lots and sell them? Is there a problem with,
Not if the board gives the variance, no, because again, it's not getting any closer to a sideline than it already is. And it, like the applicant stated, it's not affecting anybody's view. That would be where my concern would be, is if it affected somebody's view. Because that side property, where the garage is at, if they purchase that property, they purchase it with all of this in place, so they would have to build something, and then it might affect a view, but with the way that the current layout is, I don't think it would affect the neighboring property.
Okay. Anybody have anything else they'd like to comment on? Okay. Very good. You have,
We're doing housekeeping today. Did y'all figure that out?
what'd you say?
I said, we're doing a lot of housekeeping today.
I know it. That's all right. Okay, then we'll move right on to the questions. There are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to the particular piece of property. Do we have a motion in the affirmative?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, do we have any discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor? Okay, these conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity. Do we have a motion in the affirmative?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, do we have any discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor? Okay. Because of these conditions, the application of this chapter to the particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. Do we have a motion in the affirmative?
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, do we have any discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor? Aye. Okay. The authorization of a variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent uses or to the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance. Do we have a motion in the affirmative?
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, do we have any discussion? No. There being no discussion, all in favor? Okay, now, based on the evidence presented to the board, do I hear a motion that the proposed variance be approved, subject to the,
Submittal of an
submittal,
as-built.
huh?
Submittal of an as-built survey.
The submittal of an as-built, at the time the foundation is set. Do we have a motion in the affirmative?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor? Aye. You have
Unanimous.
your variance. Should, you can move ahead with whatever you want to do. We'll try to get a letter out to you within a few days. Okay. Nothing, then I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Got it. We did all